Hello, my name is Matt Schofield and I'm the Fire Chief for the Jefferson City, Missouri Fire Department.
My name is Shane Engelhardt and I'm a firefighter for Jefferson City.
We're here today doing the final inspection for 2 aerial apparatus for the City of Jefferson. It's part of a 7-vehicle fleet purchase. These are the last 2 trucks that we're here to inspect today, and we're going to go through each one of the trucks in detail, and Shane is one of our apparatus committee members that's helping us with that process.
All right. Thanks, Chief. So we'll start off by talking a little bit about the truck. What we're looking at here is a Rosenbauer 109-foot ladder truck. So some of the unique things we did with this truck is we went with the bigger motor, which is the Cummins 15-liter, puts out 600 horsepower. And we paired that with an Allison 4000 transmission, which is going to help us with our terrain. We've got a lot of steep grades and hills, so we needed the power and the torque to be able to climb the hills and respond to our calls efficiently and quickly. Starting from the front, we've put in a 150-foot, actually it's built for 200-foot, cross-lay compartment here, where we'll have quick, easy access for trash fires and anything like that, because in our area, this truck is a supporting vehicle as far as area operations, but it can also run as a first due pumper. So again, we've done a lot of unique things with building our trucks, understanding that it may have to be the first line of fire suppression on a call. Moving back, we've got the Commander 4000 cab. And what we've done inside is we've done an 8-inch raised roof on an aerial truck, which is unique because as we get to the back seat, you'll see that we don't have a cutout in the roof. So we have the full roof height throughout the entire cab. That means we don't have to take away and risk hitting our head or anything while we're up inside. So we've got a leather seat, which is something we chose for decon, and we can clean this truck and with the push of trying to take out carcinogens and everything in the fire service, we are making an active effort to make sure that we take any precaution we can to keep ourselves safe away from the fire scene. Up inside, we've got the Rosenbauer Vista screen, which allows us to do anything from turn lights on to check the electrical system in the truck, and pretty much is our brain box for the whole operation of the truck. It sends all the electrical systems and it knows everything that goes on with the truck, so it makes our job a lot easier. And between the 2 seats, you can see there's a door there. And what we've done is, again, trying to keep all the carcinogens away from us while we're driving the vehicle away from fire calls, is we've put in compartments to store our gear so we're not breathing the off-gassing chemicals that come off of bunker gear as we return from a structure fire. And we've also put in as much compartmentalization as we can for added storage. Both of our ladder trucks are set up for 4-person cab, and that's 3 seated positions with an SCBA, and then of course the driver's position, which doesn't have that. And we'll allude to what this little aluminum box is when we get farther back in the truck. So we're moving on to the pump panel here, and what this is it's a 1750 GPM pump, which will allow us to flow obviously 1750 gallons a minute. With this pump panel, we have the Rosenbauer sealed lever, which gives us the added ease of not only them being very organized and very concise, but they're very easy to operate and have less of a tendency to stick as opposed to the older styles. Up here we've got a camera, and we have a camera on the captain side or officer side of the truck. We have a backup camera, and now we also have an aerial camera on both of our ladder trucks, and we can cycle through once it's programmed and see that from this pump panel at any given time. And I know some of you operators are looking and going, hey, why do you got a level gauge here? Again, we'll get to that in a minute. Another thing we did that was specific for our trucks is we moved our Outriggers to the most forward position available. And the reason we did that is because we do have to set up on some very steep inclines, and widening our base just makes the truck even more stable. And it's another reason we went with Rosenbauer, is because they gave us this option. We asked them, can you do it? And they said, we'll find a way. And here it is, it's proof, they did it. So moving back into the box, we've got the extrusions throughout, so it's a very sturdy build. And in the extrusions, we've got, of course, adjustable shelving and lighting in every cabinet. For short guys like myself, Rosenbauer does a strap, which is awful nice because some of these trucks can get tall, but allows us to pull these doors down. Throughout the box, pretty generic, but we've got our SCBA cylinder holders for storage, again, away from us. We obviously did a tandem axle because this is a 100-foot platform. One thing that's unique that we won't be able to show in this, but when we activate the PTO, it'll actually release the pressure in these axles, in the air shocks. And what that does is that takes out the bounce for when our aerial's up in the air and actually performing. It just gives us, again, a very solid, very reinforced base for our platform, which is what was very important to us because of our terrain. Another good feature that we've got is we went with composite jack pads. What this does is it's lighter for us. They just seem to perform a little better than the traditional steel or aluminum ones. Again, with trying to take out any kind of chance for fatigue or injury, reducing the weight of these things by half is a huge, huge win for us. Going back here, we've got the rear stabilizer, or the rear outrigger. And if you'll notice that on our outriggers, on our frame, on our aerial, and on the torque box, they're all hot dipped galvanized, which gives us a 25-year warranty where we don't have to worry about it. And that's a very big thing that Rosenbauer offers. They can hot dip the entire frame, which is kind of unheard of, and the entire aerial. Once we get up there, you'll see that the galvanized is a very strong and very prudent coating. So this device will allow me to operate the truck in 100% efficiency from well over 300 yards away. The last time we were here when we did the midpoint inspection, I walked to the end of Rosenbauer's property and was still operating this truck with this remote. Now obviously on a fire, I'm never gonna get that far away, but it's a great option for departments such as ours where we're a little limited on our manpower sometimes. So if I'm the operator, I can put this around my waist and I can walk to the pump panel, which is why our level gauge is there, is because I can operate this truck from the pump panel. You can see you've got your extend and retract, which is obviously for the aerial, and your lower and raise. And you've also got your left and right. Up here you've got your high idle speed, so you've got turtle and rabbit. This is the switch to actually turn it on. You have to hold that at the truck and it'll give you a green confirmation that you're operating. You can operate the air horn for safety. If I'm out and I see something that someone else doesn't see, I can sound the air horn on my truck to give an evac signal or to communicate. These 4 buttons down here are kind of the new innovative part about this, is I can control each outrigger individually. I can send them out, send them in, up and down. The only thing I can't do from this remote is pin the outriggers. But if while I'm operating, the truck moves a little bit, I can shoot this down and restabilize if I have to. Now there is another switch you have to hit for that, but it's pretty seamless. Over here we've got our nozzle controls. So I can, again, be standing. I don't have to have another guy on the tip of the ladder in a heated or smoke-filled environment. I can operate my nozzle from this remote where I can see where that stream is going. And the best part about this remote is it operates off 2 AA batteries, so there's no need for expensive lithium-ion, Duracell, Energizer, any of the ones that you can get at any store in anybody's coverage area, you can get and replace these. And it's a very easy replacement. You can do this with a gloved hand. You can do this on the scene. There's no reboot. There's no reset. You just replace the batteries, turn it back on, and go back to work. Another thing we did, because we're all firemen and we know how it works, we put a door ajar switch on this, so we can't leave the scene without it. And that's what that box is in the back of the cab. That's where we chose to store this. And again, it was another one of those things that Rosenbauer asked us, where do you want it? Okay, we'll do it. So we're very happy with this. I didn't talk about it, but obviously there's an emergency stop on here as well. Going back to Rosenbauer's aerial control on the truck is not on, but this screen gives you a full readout of your extension, your elevation, your tip weight, your flow, your degree on your setup. This replaces any analog thing that any department has ever used. It is so simple to use. I could take somebody off the street and they could have this, they could be setting this truck up like an expert in about an hour. So it's really awesome and we're really excited to get to use them. What we did back here is everyone stores their ladders in here, so that's nothing new, but we also put in a chute for our 2.5 supply line. We've got our stacks for our pike poles and attic ladders. Over here is just the adjoining side outrigger controls, but we've also got our chute for our LDH supply line. Again, on some of the compartments like this one here, we chose to go with a pull-out tray. And Rosenbauer does a pretty unique thing where there's no handles, there's no grabs, there's no gimmicks. You just pull it out, you've got access to your heavy equipment, grab it, when you're done, push it back in, close the doors and move on. Moving back here, we did a vertical tool board, which again is nothing new, but it's new to our department and we're super excited. We're gonna mount most of our forcible entry tools on this for quick access for that firefighter. And again, like you saw, there's no handles, there's no gimmicks. Just pull it out, push it back in. Keeping it simple for the firefighter. Talking about what's up top on the tip of the aerial real quick, we've got a TFT tip, and it should put out 2,000 GPM. It's fully automated, so we don't have to be on the tip to operate it. All right, so we've moved to the turntable of our ladder. Again, this is our 109 straight stick. Up here you can see that we chose to paint the outside and leave the inside galvanized, again, so we can show off that durability of the galvanization process. All right, so we've moved to the midpoint of our aerial while it's still stored. And what I'm going to talk about here is our storage box on the side of the aerial. Now we've chosen to build this big enough to hold our Stokes basket in here, and it was we were able to actually still have more storage up here at the front of this box. So that allows us to, if we ever have to effect a rescue, we can have this. We don't have to carry it up the truck. We can slide it down the aerial and get it where it needs to go. And we can also keep our Stokes bridle and any kind of rigging that we need up here with it as well. Again, it just gives us more hands-free operation getting up to this point so we can do our job a little quicker and a little better.
This has been a quick look at our 109-foot aerial straight stick. We've been very pleased with the service that Sentinel Emergency Solutions has provided us, as well as Rosenbauer as a manufacturer. We believe these trucks represent a significant step forward for our community and the people that we serve. We're able to be more functional, more flexible, more capable, and we know that we can do our jobs more efficiently with these apparatus on the street.